So, as you may have heard, there is a artist known as David who is in a bit of trouble after a missing teenager was found dead in a car that was registered to him. Now, this has been going on for the last few weeks, and when it was first reported on, there was a bit of uncertainty with a lot of the stuff. It was a story that, honestly, I will admit, until recently, I was not paying that much attention to, just because a lot of stuff felt like it was up in the air. But I feel like it's really safe to say that he fucking did it. But even then, we still don't know the exact cause or like what led up to this. But like the way that this has been handled, both by investigators, by like the police themselves, and by people online, has been very fucking weird. If you know anything about this situation, you probably have also seen that like one of his songs, literally called Romantic Homicide, has literally like became one of the most listened to songs lately, and it's just fucking weird and gross. And I can understand in some cases of that just being people trying to listen to the song to see the messages that he left in there, because a lot of people, after this all came out and after he was attached to this, have essentially been digging through his music in order to see what could have led to this, because he sings a lot about love and shit like that, and a lot of people have been able to find certain references to his relationship with this girl, because this wasn't just any random teenager. This was a minor that he was in a relationship with when he was like 17 and she was 12, 13, I think. But we have this article from the Rolling Stones, everything we know and don't about the missing teen found in a car registered to David. A little after noon on September 8th, Los Angeles police responded to a call from a tow yard in Hollywood about a foul odor coming from an impounded Tesla. When the car's front trunk was opened, detectives discovered decomposing human remains. So apparently this was someone who was like went missing in February and April of last year, by the way. She had not been found since 2024. She was in there for a while. Almost, yeah, for definitely like over a year. And now they finally found her, and it wasn't even in the case of like, oh, they suspected she was in there. It was because the Tesla was just like not where it's supposed to be and someone called the police on it. Or they just noticed that it was there for a long period of time. This whole story is so weird. Like, how the fuck was this girl missing for over a year and nobody had any idea where she was? It really shows how incompetent, like, not just with how long it took for them to find this girl, but also how bad the police have been dealing with this whole situation. Because like, as far as I know, when this article first came out, he was not in custody. And if anything, I'm pretty sure they even said that he was like informing them, like maybe he was an informant or something. It's a little unclear of what David's role in all of this is when it comes to like the investigation and shit like that. But like the fact that he isn't even in custody yet, not just on these murder charges, but also like, oh, you are a pedophile. Because they started dating when he was like 17, and I think it was like an on or an off situation, but he was grooming her. That's what was happening. The victim's body had deteriorated to such a degree it took medical examiners a full week to identify her as Celeste Rivera's, a teenager reported missing by her family in February and April of last year. But what was confirmed at the time the body was discovered was that the 2023 Tesla Model Y with Texas license plates were registered to David Anthony Burke, the real name of the up-and-coming singer David. Burke was on tour when the body was discovered, and a representative said that he was cooperating with authorities. Police have yet to name a suspect or even a person of interest in the case, nor have any arrests been made. As police continue their investigation, here's everything we know about the shocking case so far. After detectives discovered Rivera's body, a report from the Los Angeles County medical examiner described her as a female with flavy black hair wearing a tube top and black leggings, size small, as well as a yellow metal stud earrings and a yellow metal chain bracelet. Her height was listed as 5 feet 2, but Rivera's body was so severely decomposed that examiners were unable to determine her eye color, age, or race/ethnicity. Again, she was in there for so long that like you could get like the basic information. And again, a lot of this stuff is just stuff that she was wearing, stuff that's not gonna like decompose too much over the course that isn't going to decompose in the time of a year. It's so shocking and gross to learn that she was gone for this long and was probably dead for that entire period of time, and nobody discovered her, or essentially nobody was really looking for her, at least when it comes to the authorities. Because I bet her parents, her family were trying to look for any sign of her still being out there. But when you're talking about a young woman of color who more than likely doesn't come from a wealthy family, the police don't have a good track record of actually taking care or doing any serious work when it comes to these cases, despite the fact that we know now that there's a ton of evidence to show that this girl had a long-standing relationship with the singer David that really should have brought him up in line of questioning in terms of someone who could be connected to this girl disappearing. One of the only potential identifying details that they were able to share was a tattoo on the right index finger that said "shh," which will come up later. Just over a week after the body was discovered on September 16th, authorities finally identified Celeste Rivera Hernandez, a 15-year-old from Lake Elsinore, California, who was reported missing by her family last year. A GoFundMe has been set up to help the family cover the cost of funeral arrangements. After Rivera's was identified, reporters quickly swarmed the family's home. When the family declined to speak with them, TMZ reported that Rivera's mother said her daughter had been dating someone named David before her death. A friend who was visiting the home described Rivera's as a sweet and studious to Rolling Stone, adding it was so sad she was very beautiful. Despite identifying Rivera's, there's still much authorities do not know, including a cause of death. A report of the Los Angeles County Department of Medical Examiner website still listed her cause of death as deferred. Much of the information that trickled out about the investigation has centered around the impounded Tesla. The car was towed from the Tony Bird Street neighborhood in the Hollywood Hills and was sitting in the tow yard for 3 days before the police were called about the smell. Residents told Rolling Stone that the car was spotted in various places around the neighborhood in the preceding months as far back as the end of May. The city finally towed the sedan after a citizen complained that the car had been abandoned for more than 72 hours. Neighborhood sources said the sedan had been sitting in its final spot on the Bluebird Avenue for at least 3 weeks. It moved around, one resident said, Rolling Stone. It's chilling. The investigation ramped up Wednesday night after Rivera's body was identified. Per ABC7 in Los Angeles, investigators searched a house on Dauphin Place close to where the car was abandoned. After several hours at the home, police left with a computer and other items. I don't know if that's one of his places, maybe he owns multiple homes. I don't know what his role in all of this in terms of the investigation is, but and we'll definitely get more into his connection, David's connection with this outside of the obvious factor of she was found in his Tesla, she was found in his car, and the fact that he is not even in custody is so fucking weird, even as a potential suspect. Beyond the initial statement confirming that he was cooperating with authorities, reps for Burke have yet to make any public comments. The musician has continued to tour and play shows in support of his debut album Withered, which arrived in April. At a concert on September 9th, the day after the body was discovered, David performed in Minneapolis, where he was seen tossing Labubus into the crowd and playing his hit song Crashing with singer Kali Uchis. Not My Friend, I did a song with him which is currently in the process of being taken down, given today's disturbing news, she wrote on social media following the body's discovery. David has enjoyed an impressive rise over the last few years. He broke through in 2022 with his singles Romantic Homicide and Here With Me, both of which garnered significant traction on TikTok. He released his debut EP Pedal to Thorn in May 2023, then followed it up a few months later with The Lost Petals. While Burke has largely appeared unfazed by the investigation, the initial discovery of the corpse in the car did prompt the fashion companies Crocs and Hollister to pull back on a campaign that was set to feature David. We are aware of this developing story, the brand said in a joint statement. With respect to the current situation, we have removed campaign content featuring David while the investigation continues. On Wednesday, as news of Rivera's identification spread, David also had his first show canceled, a gig at the Showbox Sodu in Seattle. As it stands, David's next 2 shows are still set to go ahead as planned. A September 18th gig at the Warfield in San Francisco, followed by a show at the Greek Theater in Los Angeles at September 20th. By the time of this recording, both of those has passed. I'm pretty sure neither of them happened. Probably not be a great idea. The identification of Rivera set off a wave of speculation and rumor, especially regarding her possible ties to Burke. As a of press time, Burke has not been accused of any crimes. TMZ in particular has surfaced several alleged links, including a photo of Burke that appears to show him with a tattoo on his finger similar to the one Rivera's had. Yeah, there's that connecting piece too. We also have this thread right here that we're gonna get into that really goes into like some of the connections these two had. I also saw, like, while I was setting up the stream, there's literally a like clip of David with Celeste where she makes a joke about David being a pedo, and he freaks out kind of jokingly, but also then tells his mods that they need to scrub the clip. It's fucking weird. The tabloid also uncovered a photo of Burke in Lake Elsinore, close to where Rivera slept before her disappearance. It's unclear when the photo was taken. An alleged leaked and unreleased David song has also started floating around the web called Celeste, which is true. So this is a thread that someone piled up together in terms of some of the evidence. Now, I believe they have got like some evidence wrong. Like if you see while I'm scrolling through this clip, there are some posts that are deleted, so this user is trying to clear up any misinformation they accidentally spread. And I think here's the thing, like, even if there is a chance that he is innocent, the fact that he like hasn't been taken in or like there hasn't been any public statement of like he's in custody or something like that is very fucking weird. So there's like these Discord messages right here where apparently like even his like fan base, like some of his very like big fans, close fans, even knew about Celeste. He has a girlfriend, pretty sure he's dating right now. What? Yeah, her name is Celeste. Like, yeah, apparently like his own fan base was even aware of her. How is it that like nobody saw this whole situation? It was just like, yeah, this is fucking weird. Because again, she was a minor and it was not exactly like a big secret. This is like a Reddit post that someone posted about her at the time that she like disappeared, I guess. This guy is a weirdo, a close friend's little sister from the IE, or it might be Lake Elsinore, ran away last year, and this is who she was with. We think her sister was pimping her out. She was in 7th grade at the time. LAPD sweeps his place in the hills. I'm terrified that's who is in the car. Nobody has heard from her in months. I won't release name as she's still a minor, but she was from Lake Elsinore. So this was when like she wasn't even identified yet. Like the body was found, but again, she was so like decomposed, they had to wait a bit till they were able to find like any real defining factors of like who this girl was. And there was someone out here being like, yeah, this seems like it was this girl. Pictures of David with the 15-year-old, however, she was 100% not 15 in these pictures, likely 13 or 14 here. This was shared to me in a recent Reddit post. This guy has allegedly been a known creep. This guy is a pedo from what I've heard. My sister, who is now in 9th grade, told me that he was dating an 8th grader, let's call her C, and she would go on trips with him to LA. They're all in 9th grade now, and it turns out C's friends knew, and he would pay them to keep their mouth shut. C has been missing for over a month now, and nobody knows where she's about. Definitely something strange going on. This is like another photo of them. Apparently this was in 2023 when she was 13. This is also the gross thing too. Like the really sad thing about this too is like she didn't even get like the fucking chance to really go to high school. She was this fucking young, and this like gross fucking guy just like fucking groomed and used her. This is like the stuff of like, I haven't really got into this a bit, but like there's been fucking people who have been so fucking gross about this, trying to like defend David and shit like that. Like I saw one person who apparently like made a Discord account where they like were pretending to be Celeste and like, oh, I'm still alive, like making a joke out of it. And it's like so disgusting because like this girl barely fucking had a chance to live life before she was more than likely killed by this guy who had been grooming her since she was like 13 or 12. But yeah, we already saw like this part, like her mom said she had a boyfriend named David. I guess this was the photo that they were talking about where David is in Lake Elsinore paying kids off. And again, this is the picture that apparently was not that far from where Celeste lived. So yeah, this could just literally be him paying off her friends, like keeping quiet. Apparently these are messages from Celeste. Oh shit. So like essentially what like this message said is that it literally just fucking says that like she had sex with him because he got mad that she didn't want to have sex the first time that he wanted to have it. Like I don't want to get too in detail in these messages because like honestly I just don't feel comfortable, you know, reading a fucking like pre-teens fucking sex messages. It's just, oh god. So like not only did he like R-word her in like the statutory sense, he also like pressured her into having it. So fucking gross. This user here says that David released Romantic Homicide on her birthday. I believe like it was more like the music video got released on her birthday, not the actual song, but like obviously there was some alignment there to her. Dude, you look at the missing persons report and then the MV, they look so similar. Yeah, apparently he also like would hire girls in his music videos because like again, a lot of his like music was about like love and shit like that. Apparently he would hire girls to be like, you know, his female, you know, counterpart, like the love interest in his music videos. He would make sure that the girls looked like Celeste too. Like the description that was given for like what Celeste looks like and what she, I mean, we obviously have photos now. We know what she looks like. Like her description, the way that she looks matches a lot of girls who also appear in David's music videos. So it's very obviously that he had, like, that he was with her. I really do not understand how anyone could look at this and be like, yeah, this guy didn't do anything, because there's like so much. There's so much, even if it's not like concrete proof, there's like, it's too close to just pass off as coincidence. And we're not gonna get into all of this, but we will look at this clip right here that I saw when I was getting ready for the stream of a clip from one of his live streams, because I believe David, before he really started getting into music, I guess he was a Fortnite streamer. That's what I heard from the very least. Apparently he had Celeste on one of his streams where she makes a joke about him being a pedo.
I media trained you.
No, you didn't.
That's controversial.
It's controversial of raping kids.
Really good.
Okay,
It's been a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh my! Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes.
Yeah, you could tell, like, even though it's like a joke, you can tell he's freaking out of being like, oh no, nobody, we need, even though I literally have this girl on my stream, this minor. It's so weird how people like this are at the same time seem to be like so open about like the disgusting shit that they do, but also like have so much shame with it as well. Because like, why would you even like publicly like take like pictures of her being on stream? Like, again, I'm glad that he did, because it gives us so much like evidence to show that like he had a connection with this girl. More than likely, he is the reason behind her death. And despite all this, again, he's not in custody for what we know. I don't really know what else to really say. I feel like this is just such a classic mishandling of a case, just because, oh, who cares? It's just a young POC girl, no one a note, and the perpetrator is somebody who seems to have a lot of success, so why should we even care? Like, that's what it really feels like when it comes to how law enforcement is really handling this shit. You can tell the only people really taking this seriously are like just people online. Like, this was like a national story for like probably a day, and then everyone just seemingly kind of gave up on it. And I just think it's just so fucking gross. Again, a lot of like the talk recently regarding this has been like people just kind of like streaming a lot of his music and making jokes at the expense of all this and that shit. Like, it's just fucking weird. I don't understand how, like, I don't know. I hope justice is served. I hope we get to the bottom of what really happened, because again, we don't know what the cause of death was. This girl was missing, declared missing, for over a year. We don't even know like when she really died. And it seemed like, at least from the article, that there was somebody who was definitely trying to make sure the body wasn't found by like keeping it in the Tesla, but also moving it a lot. Like, people have said that they were like, yeah, there's a lot of like the vehicle moved around a lot. And the only reason like why it was towed and eventually reported on was because it was just at a certain place for way too long, for like over 3 days. There's just a lot of shit that doesn't really make sense that I hope becomes clear as people really start looking into this. But like, unless law enforcement gets like their head out of their ass, unless the LAPD actually like does something useful, there's not going to be any injustice. And I just don't have faith in them for actually giving a fuck about this. Hello everyone, thank you for watching today's video. If you would like to see other videos like this, please leave a like and subscribe down below. If you would like to hear me talk about a lot more nerdy subjects such as anime, comic books, video games, movies, and even pro wrestling, you can check out my second channel, The Fruit Basket. And if you would like to see me play video games, I have a channel called FruitySaur Gaming where you can check out those videos there. Anyways, that's all I have for today, and I'll see you all next time.